Welcome to another episode of Rise to Ruins, the hardest game in the world. I'm just popping in now because I once again have failed on this island map. Looks like they destroyed my town center and they're overrunning me. So I just want to go over a couple of the things that I learned about this map, as I will probably do this map again for the next bit. This game is a super hard game and I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs of it. Okay, what I've realized is this choke point is really good for the beginning as the corruption spawns up there. Eventually, the hardest part about the map is this whole map is surrounded by water, right? So the corruption will have free growth no matter where it is. And so there's just really what you can do is just put yourself down in the middle and then try to wall yourself off. I think that was my problem at the beginning, is I started building the cryolithium walls, but these are super expensive, and I started building these walls before I even started building the stone walls. But so really what I've realized is what I just need to do is just build wood fences around the entire island starting off, including blocking off a small path down here so that we can migrate to a new area and nomads can come in safely and stuff like that. So really, I kept building these cryolithium walls. I kept thinking like, hey, this will save resources. Instead of having to build wood walls and then cryolithium walls, I can just build cryolithium walls. I thought I was off to a really good start, but obviously that was not true. What ended up happening is these guys, even though I have my tower set up here, all of the people, all of the slimes and bad guys would just walk all the way around. Like, they didn't care that this was the shortest path to my base or anything. They would literally walk all the way around the map and attack back here where my farms were, where my water collectors were. And so what it was doing is it was just distracting my villagers. Like, I'd constantly have to drag enemies from down there up here, and so what really would have been better is if we had this all walled off, and then we wouldn't have enemies constantly distracting my villagers, keeping them from doing their work, and instead everyone would come through here. Then I could just focus on defenses instead of trying to put down god walls here or stuff like that. Like, if we already had walls set up in these areas, then I don't know, it'd just make our life so much easier, right? And so about 5 days ago, I made it to day 12. About 5 days ago, what started happening was people started dying because we were starting running low on food and water. And then that just started a cascading effect. Like, I might have lasted 3 days after we started losing food and water, because we just could not keep up. The slimes kept wrapping around, coming down here, and distracting the villagers. Part of me wonders if I was biting off too much to chew at the beginning. Like, should I have just done a small base here, a small wall, and then try to expand to take over some more wood and rock resources? Like, you can see, like, a lot of my buildings were destroyed, but you can see I was not really running out of room. I would have soon, but I could have done a lot better. I lost also a couple villagers like day 3 because I forgot to build a water purifier. So it was already off to a rocky start. But yeah, this is kind of my setup. I had my tower set up here, and I was trying to funnel them all into this rock while building walls around the outside. A couple poor decisions, a couple poor micromanagement, and yeah, like, once you make one mistake, this is kind of what I said in episode 1, once you make one mistake, it's just a cascading effect from there, right? Like, once a couple villagers die because, oh, you forgot like 4 days ago to upgrade your food for all your new villagers. Like, once a couple villagers die, it's too late. You've already lost. It's going to be a cascading effect down. So Like, once I realized, oh hey, I forgot to build walls, it's too late. Like, if you forget, the wall should have been built like 2 days ago, you know? So yeah, it's sad, but I guess that's just part of the learning curve of this. I learned that in this map, opposed to the last episode I just did, I learned that if you put down the fire pits and then the corruption meets the fire pits, you're fine. It won't affect the corruption growth at all. It won't spawn specters. It'll just grow other places. If you do let the corruption grow in and then you set down the fire pit and then it pushes it out, that's when they get mad. That's when the specters spawn, and that's when they send a huge wave at you. So it's important, once you find out where the corruption is on the map, it's important to plan, hey, I'm gonna meet the corruption here with corruption resistance. We can, like, I'm gonna meet it here at this with corruption resistance before it gets here, and then have to push it back. Like, for example, if the corruption got past this choke point, I'd be kind of screwed. So that was one good thing that I did. I lasted to day 12 instead of like day 4 or 5 like I did in the last map. So getting a little bit better. I like this map just because it, like, you don't have very many options on where to go, so you're kind of forced to just deal with this one map. Before I let you guys go, I just want to head back out to the world map here. We're gonna doom the world and start over again, obviously, but we get to at least see if we got enough for any more perks, which will help us a little bit on the way. Wow, that's actually pretty good. We got 2 new chests. Again, we don't have enough god experience to open any of the chests. Oh, now we do. We have 4,000. I wish we had 4,800 because this chest looks way better than the other guys. So let us open one of these. I wish once the series lasts longer than, I don't know, a couple days, then we'll be able to get a lot of perks from here as well. So right now we're kind of limited in the perks we can get. I said we at least just get the most expensive chest we can. Ooh, we got 3. 4% building speed. Awesome motivator tower range. This isn't really applicable. I feel like this is later in the game. I haven't really needed these yet. But the building speed is really great. Static tower range. So that's pretty good too. Yeah, that's actually really good. I wonder how like 4 static towers or 9 static towers go up against. Like, I would have to do the math to see how much energy each shot takes, and then how much damage it does to see what's the most cost-effective thing for that. But that's not bad. I haven't really used static towers, but maybe I need to start using static towers. So I'll take it. We've added to our perk list. We don't have enough god experience for any other perks, but hey, not too bad. We are progressing, especially this build speed. That build speed is just so good. It makes me wonder, like, should I save up for this super expensive chest? Because it looks like this build speed will help every single scenario. So I wonder if the better chests have the better perks in them. So maybe I should save up for this instead of buying the cheaper ones out next time. I hope this guide and this little episode was helpful for you guys who are trying to start the island map. I'm going to be doing this map again in the next episode. Like I said, the series is going to be a beast of a series. It's going to last a really, really long time as I try to learn and beat the hardest game in the world on the hardest setting. So if you guys like this sort of content and you're interested to see how this series ends, I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. I mean, this is my dream, right? Like, I'm trying to do this full time, so any sort of love you could throw my way, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, peace.